How's it going, everyone? My name is MyReactions, and we're back with yet another tier maker of my favorite character and anime characters tier list. I only pick my favorite ones from each anime, and then I rank them on a tier list from S to F. Like in previous videos, I'm going to rank my favorite anime characters. This one being K through, I think, P, the end of K through P, with Komi can't communicate through prison school will be the last one. Like I've done in previous videos, I'm going to timestamp each anime, so in case you want to watch it, I'm going to probably have spoilers, and so there's a spoiler warning now, and I'm going to timestamp each individual anime and my favorite character from each, so you can avoid those spoilers. These videos take a long time to do, so make sure to leave a like, comments who you think who you have as a favorite character in these various animes. Give me some anime recommendations. Tell me anything I could do to maybe improve this type of video. So we got a decent assortment of anime characters. From looking at this, there's a lot of high-ranking characters I've noticed in this specific grouping. From S to F, I'm going to rank each character. The characters on the farthest left are my favorite in the category. I'll do that at the end of the video. And then once the farthest right are the least favorite in that category. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of higher ranking anime characters in this one from what I've noticed, with Tohru, Reigen, Misato, Sora, Odakawa, Saitama being in this grouping. There's a lot of higher ones. The last one I had a lot more lower ones. I'll leave a link to my previous videos in the description down below. Make sure you go check them out. Leave a like on them. So don't forget to subscribe. So the first anime here is Komi Can't Communicate, with the character being obviously Komi. It's about to get season 2. I'm recording this just before season 2 or part 2 of season 1, whatever it ends up being. It's about to release, so obviously this could change, but as of right now, Komi's my favorite character and Komi Can't Communicate. I'm going to put her at C. Obviously, she's just a shy girl. When she does do anything, it's kind of funny or cute or whatever you want to call it. I could see her going into B tier, but for the most part, there's going to need to be more character development for her to be B. I could see her maybe moving up to B just because of the sheer amount of C's. I do really like her as a character. Every time she's shown, it's a more enjoyable part of the anime. I'm going to keep her in C. Next character is Guang from an anime that most people probably haven't heard of, or most people should watch at least. And it's Link Click. It's a Chinese donghua. I think I pronounced that correctly. Make sure you guys check this out. It's fucking fantastic. I gave this a 10 out of 10. I've given like 6 or 7 things 10s out of like 170 anime things that I've watched, and Link Click's a 10. At least the first season. There's apparently another season coming out or in the works, but it's just so entertaining. Him and his partner help solve crimes, or do business by jumping into photos and like figuring out clues on how to change things. It's hard to explain kind of until you watch it. It's been a little while since I've watched it, and I don't have the gist of it. It's a very, very enjoyable anime, and Guang is the voice of reason for the his more rebellious partner. Link Click's a great anime. Definitely watch it if you haven't watched it already. His power is to basically be the eyes within the picture, and he look around and he helps his partner out. I would say him and his partner are very close into me liking them the most as a character, and I can maybe see one of them jumping into B, but I don't see in the future of the anime, I don't really see him really jumping into a B tier, anything higher than a B tier. So I'll put them in C for now. I think they're definitely below Komi, but like I said, at the end of the video, I'm going to sort all these characters out. Next character is from Magical Spec-Ops girl Asuka. Main character Asuka is my favorite character. The anime's kind of got a decent story where there's a bunch of magical girls and they help defeat, I think it's demons or something like that. Then she goes back to a normal life, but someone's trying to like be evil and create their own magical girls. She's an okay character. The anime is it's pretty mediocre. I didn't really care for it. I don't expect it to get any more seasons or anything. I wouldn't really recommend watching it. And the anime is mediocre. She's an okay, mediocre-ish character. I'm going to put her in F. There's not really much to talk about with her. Similarly with the next character that's also an F tier, which is from Mieruko-chan, and it's Hana, Yurikawa. I was thoroughly disappointed with Mieruko-chan. The art style is fantastic, and then how they draw the ghosts, demons, whatever you want to call them. But throughout the entire anime, I was just thoroughly bored half the time because it was like the same sequence of stuff. The girl that could see ghosts or demons or whatever, Hana can't, but her friend can. And it would be the same sequence of she'd shit her pants trying to not show that she sees them actually, so then they attack her or whatever, and it'd be like legit 2 minutes of shitting their pants, and then the demon or something would get closer or do something that's really hard to not react to. The entire anime was just really, really fucking boring in my opinion. It got better towards the end, but it was still really, really boring. I haven't dropped any animes that I watched, and I watched almost 170. I really wanted to drop this one, but I just pushed through it, hoping for better, and it ended up being a little bit better towards the end, but I didn't really care for it. If you like horror animes, it might be up your alley and you might enjoy it more, but I didn't think it was very good. It's not Hana's fault, who's just basically there for fan service type of stuff, plus being dumb, plus kind of cute, plus doing cute shit, and then on top of that, eating everything in sight, but she loves fucking food and she's always eating it. The anime is mediocre, and the characters are that's one of the worst characters, and this will end up being one of the worst characters in the entire list, period. Not even close. Next characters from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Please, for the love of God, if you have not seen Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, watch it. It's one of the comfiest animes I have ever watched, and it is Tohru from Dragon Maid. A lot of people have Kana as their favorites, who's fine. I love Kana, but Tohru's easily my favorite character in the show, and Tohru's easily an A at least. I'm willing to put her an S, but I think she's an A as of right now. She's fucking fantastic character, loving, kind, great fighting. Every time Tohru's around, the show's instantly a lot better, at least in my opinion. Fantastic show. It needs to be talked about more. I don't see enough people talking about it. I see the same bullshit with Naruto, Bleach, One Piece, etc., etc. Watch Dragon Maid. I'm sure a lot of people have, but don't talk about it enough. It's so comfy. It's so good. It was nominated for Best Fight Scene, too, for the Crunchyroll Awards. I think 2021 Crunchyroll Awards, which is kind of amazing to think about, because it's not real. It's not a fighting anime. You're not going around having dragon fights. Tohru is just fantastic, though. One of my favorite characters. Easily could be S tier. I'm going to throw her an A, be a low ball it a little bit. By the end of me going through the entire alphabet, I'm going to fix everybody, change people, etc., etc. But for now, I'll put her in A. Like I said, probably going to go in S, though. It's very hard to put her in an S. Next character is from Mob Psycho, which is getting a third season. I'm super hyped for it. My favorite character in Mob Psycho is Reigen Arataka. He's a dude that pretends that he has psychic powers but has none at all. And he somehow fools a lot of people into believing him, and some people don't, obviously, because they know. Smooth talker, like shits his pants half the time, but he doesn't show that side of him. He shows the side that's cool, calm, collected, and usually just his demeanor and his swagger carries him through ridiculous psychic entities and powers. I can't wait for season 3 of Mob Psycho. Reigen's great. He comes off a little bit like selfish, but he does a lot of things and realizes and tries to help people actually throughout. He starts off kind of selfish, but then eventually he kind of curves his selfish, I guess, desires to like be powerful and shit to help Mob and a bunch of other people, obviously. Great. I love him as a character. He's just so fucking funny. He's the funniest character in the show. It's not really close. I'm gonna put him in A. I don't really see him moving from A unless he does something ridiculous. Next up is kind of interesting. Well, I skipped one anime because I haven't watched season 2, or part 2 of season 1 technically, of Mushoku Tensei. So it could be on here, and if I did it as of part 1, it was Rudeus Greyrat was my favorite character. I'd probably throw Rudeus in the high D character, or a very low C. I haven't watched part 2, so I'm not going to bother throwing him in here. As you can see here, I didn't bother throwing Rudeus in. I'm waiting to watch part 2 at some point. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm watching other stuff. I like Mushoku Tensei. It's a pretty good anime. I think it's a little overrated from at least season 1 I don't have a desire to start it up again. Eventually I will. So the next one you can see from here is from My Hero Academia, and it's Aizawa. My Hero Academia is probably the weirdest show where I could throw up several favorite characters. I'll say probably the first 2 seasons of My Hero Academia, my favorite character was probably All Might, and then Aizawa was very close up there, and then maybe 3 it kind of starts shifting, and 4 it starts shifting a little more towards Aizawa. Aizawa wasn't shown a whole of a lot in season 5, which was fucking hot garbage season, I'm gonna be honest. I fucking hated it. It was pretty damn bad. I know it's setting up for a big war arc, but the entire season was just awful. There's barely any good scenes. I'm gonna have Aizawa as my favorite. He's gonna go in the C. He's a hilarious character, kind of inadvertently. I like his strictness. I like that he cares for the students. Like I said, besides just Aizawa, there's All Might that I liked. I could throw up someone I like Momo Yaoyorozu, but her constantly having the flaw of being stupid, even though she's really high intelligence, and stupid in a fight and not doing the right thing, or being too slow, not decisive enough. It gets annoying. I feel like she should kind of be over it by now. And season 5, obviously that wasn't the case. I forget the shadow dude in Deku's class who trained with Hawks. He's a pretty cool character. I would put him higher up. I probably wouldn't put him as my favorite, but he's kind of up there. Hawks is kind of higher up there, but he hasn't been shown enough. I love Twice. Twice is probably my favorite villain of those, besides Overhaul. Overhaul's the best villain so far. Not close at all. He's been the best villain. I'd be arguably throw him in here as my favorite character. I don't think he's going to probably show up ever again, or if he does, very little, because both his arms are fucked right now, and the only way that can get fixed is Eri. Speaking of Eri, Lemillion, because Lemillion helps save her. If Lemillion gets his powers back at some point, he could easily be my favorite character just because of his sacrifice in season 4. Aizawa's my favorite. I'm going to throw him in the C tier. My Hero Academia's favorite character is probably 100% going to change by the end. I don't know who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be any of the big people like Todoroki, Bakugo, or Deku. A more side character. It'd probably be my favorite. Hopefully next season's better. Season 5 was hot garbage, I'm going to be honest. The next anime is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've only watched the show, the anime, and then the first movie. I didn't watch the rest. So the true ending of Neon Genesis Evangelion. My favorite character is obviously Misato, as you can see here. I'm going to throw Misato in A tier. Kind of a childlike adult who just kind of has like sexual urges or whatever. Kind of just worries about that, but takes a lot of responsibility. I don't do a good job explaining Evangelion at all, so I'm not going to bother. And on top of that, like what stereotypes she fucking portrays, I'm not going to do a good job of that either. Every time Misato was around, the anime got way, way better. Shinji was fucking horrible, but he's meant to be horrible. Asuka's terrible throughout the entire anime, besides in the movie, and that doesn't make up for her being arguably actually the worst character in the entire anime, even more so than Shinji. Gendo Ikari is not shown enough, so I'm not going to throw him as my favorite. Rei is kind of close, maybe, to Misato. I wouldn't throw her in B tier, though. I'd throw her in C. I think Misato belongs in the A tier. I really, really enjoyed her. She was just a great person to have in the anime. Like I said earlier before the video technically started, there's a lot of high-ranking characters, and I got 3 A's. It's a weird distribution currently where I have 3 A's, 3 C's, and 2 F's. Next one's actually going to be another upper tier character, and it's going to be an S tier with Sora from No Game No Life. My God, with everybody obviously that wants a second season of No Game No Life, that's never going to happen, unfortunately. Sad, feels bad, man. Sora's just fucking great. The anime is literally perfect. I enjoy it so much. Another anime you should watch, despite the fact that you'll never get the ending. No Game No Life's fantastic. Sora's great. He's ridiculously fucking smart, funny, thinks 20 steps ahead of people. A lot of my characters in S tier are very, very, very smart. If I remember off the top of my head, I've already had Lelouch go, and he's S tier. I had Accelerator go. He had to do a bunch of calculations in order to use his power. Now he has a computer kind of do it. He has a computer, I think, inside of his brain or whatever to help him do it now. But before, ridiculously smart. I can't remember off the top of my head. Dazai I think was also I put into S by the end of the video. Dazai is also pretty damn smart, thinking ahead of everything. I don't know what his IQ is, but Lelouch's IQ is through the roof, and I'm pretty sure so is and Accelerator's IQ's got to be really high up as well. If Sora is transported to this world where everything's decided, or a lot of things can be decided by a game, he eventually becomes king of the humans essentially, and takes on all these other beasts and other things in games to take territory back or take them over or whatever. And it's not fair because he doesn't have magic or whatever, and so he's got to think 20 steps ahead, and if he fucks up in any small calculation or thing, he's screwed. So he doesn't mess up. That's essentially it. Sora S tier, not even up for debate for me. I was tempted to do the No Game No Life movie because it has completely different characters besides a small section in the very beginning and end, because it's told as a story to someone. I was going to put actually Schwi Dola, I think her name is, from No Game No Life movie on here. I'm not going to. I would throw Schwi in the B tier if I were to add the hats, but it's from the same universe. It's a prequel to when No Game No Life takes place. It shows how the world ends up the way it is. It's a very enjoyable movie too. You should actually go watch that as well if you're gonna watch No Game of Life. I watched the show first, then the movie. Next up for me is Hot Taxi, and I thought it was I'm definitely gonna get hate for this, but I think it's an overrated anime. I'm gonna put Odakawa as my favorite from Odd Taxi, and I guess it would surprise you because I'd say it's overrated. I don't think it's close to a 9. I don't even think it's an 8. I would argue it's not even really a 7 from my anime list ratings. But I would throw Otakawa actually as a B tier character. He doesn't really show a lot of emotions. Like I had spoilers before this, so I'm going to explain that as a kid he's treated very, very poorly, and the only thing he liked was going to the zoo. So eventually he was almost drowned. He was saved, and from that he kind of had like has the trauma of seeing everybody as animals. So that's why the entire show is everybody looks like an animal. He's big and kind of fat, so and he kind of looks like a walrus. And then there's other characters that look like a monkey. They look like a gorilla. They look like dogs. They look like other things like that, other animals you would see in a zoo. Otakawa's a good character. He does a lot of things unselfishly. He risks his life to help save people. He sticks his neck out for them. He is a very good character. I just think the anime as a whole is an overrated anime. I'm going to throw him in the B tier. I think he could go down to C, but I don't really see that. He'd probably be a low B tier character. Next is Saitama from One Punch Man. Give me season 3 of this, please. I don't know why everyone hates on season 2. Is there a slight drop in animation fighting? Yeah. I don't think it was that bad. People harp on that shit way too much, in my opinion. Because I've watched a lot of animes where the animation's not great, but the anime is actually good, or it's enjoyable to watch. So Saitama, I'm gonna throw him B tier. He's just works. He just runs around one punching everything. He's funny. He's derpy. He doesn't seem to take a lot of fights seriously. Besides the first one, the end of season 1, he took that one seriously. He doesn't really take any fights seriously. He just goes around getting punched and beaten up, but basically doesn't affect him. Very, very funny anime. Give me season 3 of it. It's one of my favorite animes. I like it more than Mob Psycho. I need more Garu in my life. Garu could easily take over Saitama's spot, and to be honest, be an S tier character. I would throw Garu right on B tier as well. Next anime is Our Love Has Always Been 10 Centimeters Apart, and I think the girl's name is Miou Aida. Let me double check. Yes. Very, very short 6 episodes, slice of life romance anime, I think it is. She's a girl who eventually gets with the guy at the very end. Neither of them really make a move. And during, I think it's high school roughly, last year of high school, the guy moves on to become a big movie director, and eventually comes back and takes on the girl. The girl's a little bit better. She feels bad because she doesn't kill her love interest's brother, but because he was already frail, but he ends up saving her from drowning in the river, and shortly after that dies. But he was always frail, but he was always willing to risk his life for people. He was always really kind. She's the best character. I'm gonna throw her in D tier. She's probably at the very bottom of D tier, maybe an F tier. I wouldn't really say that the anime is very nice. I really liked it. I think I gave it like a mid to high 7 rating, but I wouldn't really say the characters make it amazing. It's kind of like the story, and the characters are decent enough to make it really, really enjoyable. So I'll throw her in D tier. Next character is from Peach Boy Riverside, which has the worst order to watch episodes ever. You don't watch it I think it's 12 episodes, and you don't watch it 1 through 12. I'm going to forget to edit it in to where you know how to watch it actually episode-wise. Just look up how to actually watch the anime. You have to flop between episodes. I don't know what the director was smoking to make it out of order. Because you don't watch it 1 to 12. You watch it you start on episode 8 or something, or 11, and then you could jump to 5, and then to 4, and then to 12, and then to 7. It's stupid. But when you get the right order, it makes perfect sense that it goes in order. There's no reason behind it going like that, but when you watch it, you're all right, this just happened, now this next part happens. The order the guy puts in is fucking stupid. Really, really stupid. How's this? I don't know. She's a hair, I think it's hair folk, technically. Hare, hair. I think that's the right way you spell it. Helps the MC run around and fight, and she has some weird... She's actually not a hair folk, I think she's some other creature that has died not countless times, but a lot, and keeps coming back and has this weird, I don't want to call it a demonic power, but kind of. Anyway, she's very enjoyable. She doesn't say a lot of words. She doesn't really speak English. Well, speak the language that the other people speak very well. Frau's very, very, very good character. I'm gonna throw her in C tier. She could easily be B. With how the director put together Peach Boy Riverside, I really would be surprised if it got another season. Probably gonna have to read the manga to figure out what happens, because I really didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good for the little bit that was there. I'm gonna have Frau in the C tier for now. I don't see her going into B tier. Next up is Plastic Memories, a sad anime. It's Isla from Plastic Memories. Isla is I want to call it an android. It might not be the right terminology. She's an android whose job is to secure other androids that are going to go crazy, kind of like an iRobot scenario. If you watch that movie, I think it's iRobot with Will Smith in it. And at a certain point, they become feral and attack people and stuff like that. I would say most of these androids are pretty good, but for a reason, Isla's kind of weird, something's off with her. So she's very clumsy. To be fair, she's deteriorating. She's at the end of her life cycle, so that's where the sadness comes in. She ends up having to be taken away, but she falls in love with this guy who treats her like the best person in the world. Very good romance, love story. I'm going to put her right next to Miou Aida. I can see her going into C tier. She'll probably be C tier by the very end when I reshuffle all of this. So I'll have every single character that I've done so far on one list. For now, I'll throw her in D tier. Like I said, probably go into C tier. Next up is, I think it's Mayumi Doujima from, I was about to say Peach Boy Riverside. That's the wrong name. It's from Pretty Boy Detective Club. Another P anime. Mayumi Doujima is the only girl in the Pretty Boy Detective Club because she does things that are pretty. Her eyes can see things other people's cannot. She has really good attention to detail. She can see things, I think it's in the dark, and see very, very small details and pick things out. And basically have X-ray vision. She has ridiculous power, kind of power. Pretty Boy Detective Club just does detective work. I think there's, I want to say 3 jobs they end up doing. Okay anime. It's enjoyable. I think it keeps you entertained. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it does keep you entertained for a while. Miami's the best of them. There's I think 4 other boys that all have talents, other talents. I would throw Mayumi in. I'm gonna throw Mayumi in D tier. I think she's better than the 2 bottom girls. I don't see this getting another season, so I'm just gonna keep her in D tier as well. And last but not least, My React Despair in my Twitch channel. Make sure you follow me at twitch.tv/MyReactions. And from prison school is Takehito Morikuzo. He starts the anime looking like a fucking the meme for Reddit people, where it's just very ugly, long hair, glasses, nerd. But the dude's a true bro for his crew in prison school. Doesn't snitch on anybody. He's not running around tattletaling. He's takes multiple hits for the team. One of the best characters period to have like as a friend in any anime. The dude's a fucking beast. He's smart. He comes with a bunch of plans to help them escape the prison school. It is an ecchi anime, so there's a lot of fan service, staring at boobs and vag, all fucking thing. But the anime itself is actually I fucking loved it. I gave it an 8. I think it's definitely deserving of an 8. Kind of weird, very, very weird story. Obviously, a lot of animes the stories are never going to happen. But this is kind of like a more realistic setting where people don't have fucking superpowers or shit like that and people fighting constantly. But Prison School was great. Takahito's fantastic. It's ridiculously funny. It's so good that I ended up making an emote. I took this face here and made it an emote on my Twitch stream. So yeah, that's what it is. I'm gonna rearrange all these characters now, and we'll see what the final result is. So I'm finished reorganizing the tiers. From F to S, I will go. Left is my favorite character in the row, and right is the least favorite. So left is on F tier is Asuka, then Hana. D tier is Isla, Miou, and Mayumi Doujima. C tier is Frau, Komi, Guang, I think it is, and Aizawa. B tier is Takahito, Saitama, Odakawa. A is Tohru, Reigen, Arataka, and Misato. And S tier is Sora from No Game No Life. So if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment as to what your favorite characters are in these various animes that I got listed here. Don't forget to follow my socials. They're down in the description down below. I did this live at twitch.tv/MyReactions. So come drop me a follow there. I stream most nights at 7 or 8 p.m. EST start time. I usually don't do anime-based things like this. I do record these on Twitch, but for the most part, I am a multiplayer shooter / single-player type of game guy, grinding games away. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.